Cristiano Ronaldo is probably one of the greatest footballers ever to have lived. And recently I remember watching a documentary of Cristiano Ronaldo, and he spoke of how he, as he was a young boy and growing up into his early adulthood, had to at many times not engage in all the things that his friends were engaging in. There were many times where his friends were maybe going out for dinner or doing things that he probably would have loved to have been doing. But in order to become the greatest football player in the world, he said, I had to lay aside those privileges in order to gain something so much greater, to become the world's best footballer. And in this section of 1 Corinthians, that's equivalently the message that the Apostle Paul teaches us. As Christians, we have many privileges that we enjoy, but it may be of our interest to set those privileges aside in order that we may gain something so much greater. Paul's been given a number of examples of some of the freedoms that we have as Christians. He spoke personally at the start of this chapter as to how he is free to receive money for his gospel ministry. In the chapter before this, chapter 8, the Apostle Paul spoke to the Corinthians and told them that they were free to eat meat which had previously been dedicated to idols. But what would motivate you to lay aside privileges like this? Paul says what motivates you, firstly, is love for your brother, as we've seen throughout these passages. But the second motivation is this: you might want to lay aside some of these Christian freedoms and Christian privileges in order to build and advance the kingdom of God. Read with me as we continue through this chapter from verse 19. Paul says this: For though I am free from all, I have made myself a servant to all. To the Jews I became as a Jew in order to win the Jews. To those under the law I became as one under the law, although not being myself under the law, that I might win those outside the law. To those outside the law I became as one outside the law, not being outside the law of God, but under the law of Christ, that I might win those outside the law. To the weak I became weak, that I might win the weak. I have become all things to all people, that by all means I might save some. I do it all for the sake of the gospel, that I might share with them in its blessings. It's quite shocking what the Apostle Paul says here. He says, I will literally give up and lay aside many of the privileges that I enjoy as a Christian so that I might reach others with the gospel. And so when I go to the Jews, I become like a Jew in order to get alongside the Jews and reach them. When I go to those who are under the law, even though I'm not under that law, I will be as one under the law so that I can reach those and enhance the kingdom. When I go to the weak, even in times where I feel strong, I will become weak just to be like them and to be with them in order to reach them with the gospel. I will be all things to all men so that the gospel may increase and God's kingdom may expand. Now, we shouldn't misunderstand what the Apostle Paul's saying here. He's not saying that in order to reach people you should compromise your core convictions or engage in sinful practices. No. It's not like the Apostle Paul is, becoming a drug dealer in order to reach drug dealers. That's not the idea. But the Apostle Paul says there are many other examples, many other Christian privileges and freedoms that we have which we can lay aside in order to build the kingdom. And so here's your challenge for today. What Christian privileges or what Christian freedoms do you currently have that you may want to lay aside in order to build the kingdom of God? Maybe it's your time. Maybe you usually enjoy a free Saturday night and you spend it with your feet up in front of the fire or with people close to you or people that you love. Maybe that's a privilege that you may feel convicted to lay aside in order to maybe serve at your church's youth club and spend time with people who you don't usually spend time with or rub shoulders with in order to build the kingdom of God. Maybe it's not time, maybe it's money. Maybe you have eyed up this great car that you're looking forward to buying, a really expensive one. But perhaps that's a privilege that you want to lay aside, buy a slightly less expensive car and use that money which you freed up in order to fund gospel ministry. Those are just two random examples, but what does it look like for you? What does it look like for you to lay aside some of your privileges in order to expand the kingdom of God? Hope you have a great day.